Hello everybody, welcome back. So today I was getting ready to go to work and plans changed. We have a cow down here that's actually dripping mucus, so she's getting ready for the calving season, and we don't have an area ready for them yet. So what I decided to do is kind of a makeshift thing. It's a different plan than I talked about before. So I'm going to build a little jack fence. Let's see if I can get right there, all the way across over to here. And then we're just going to separate the shed area out from the rest of the corral area. And when someone goes into labor, we'll slide them in here, and they'll go in here, and they can go around and have their calf. And then after a couple days, we let them back out, and then everybody gets to enjoy the whole area at that point too. So just a slight separation, and hopefully it'll get us through the season, as I don't have, the ability, so to speak, to go ahead and expand at this point. So that's what we're going to try to do. Let's make it happen. Well, we're getting a little bit started here, and the cows, of course, are just rubbing all over it, as they usually do when you put something new in. So this is kind of what I got going on. So I just bring out a couple sections of jack fence on out this way, and I'm going to go about another half section right here, 10 feet or so. I'm thinking that'll leave me about 12 feet over to there. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do some sliders with the rails to start with, because it's probably froze out here. I might try to dig a hole here just to see what happens. Maybe we could put a gate in here, but anyways, so as you can see, that's what I got going on. Real simple, easy. It's my quickest solution to get the new calf a shelter on its first night or two. So we'll clean that up over there. We'll try to clean this out, make it as good as we can with the way it is being frozen, and maybe we'll throw a little bit of straw in the corner, but probably we'll wait for a cow to go into labor for that, because I don't want to jump the gun on that, because these cows will tear it apart. And we'll come in here with the tractor, clean this out a little bit, make a nice little bedding area in here, try to get all these cow pies out of here, and should work out pretty good for a calf. So they'll have this little area right here. It'll be kind of nice for a couple nights until they get their wings underneath of them, so to speak. Then we'll open them back up for the rest of the ladies there to come over and check them out, because they're going to be quite curious, as they usually are. And my biggest worry is they're going to come over here, rake on this fence like they are right now, and just move it all over the place. If I can't get a post in the ground to anchor this fence down, we're going to have some issues. So, but we'll deal with that as it comes along, and hopefully they'll get kind of bored with it, and they'll go back to just being cows. So let's go ahead and extend this out and see what happens. Well, after getting this half a section on here, that left me with just under 13 feet to the fence here. And that's a little bit further than I was hoping for. I would have liked to seen 12 or less. However, it'll be fine. Like I said, our cows aren't too pushy, and I think it'll be fine. If I can get a post in the ground right there, I don't know that I can. I'm going to try. If I can do that and anchor this down pretty good, we'll be in a lot better shape. So we'll see what happens. And as this is somewhat temporary, I hope, just for the next couple months during calving season, maybe it'll be okay. Boy, they're sure interested in that. Man, look at old Midnight over here. He's just loving it. I don't know what it is about putting something new in that these cows just find so intriguing. I guess, well, they've been, just like any of us, it's good to see something new, I guess, and kind of sparks your interest a little bit. So they're going to sit there and chew on some bark and do all kinds of things here and rub it till there's no tomorrow. Hopefully they'll get bored of that and they won't flip it over. Boy, I don't know what it is with me and batteries. My battery's about to die, so I'm going to explain this real quick, and then I'll go charge it a bit. But what I like to do is I like to take a pole like this and kind of move it on down to the ground there, secure that, and my battery's going to die. So I'm going to go charge this real quick. I'll come back, and we'll keep working on it. Well, we got our battery back up and back in business. We've done some things in the meantime. As you can see, we've come down here, and there was a whole mess of old rails and posts right there. Just a mess. It's been there for, man, it's been there for years, and it's always been the way. It's been kind of a hazard, and while we were down here working on this, you know, my wife suggested we get rid of it, and it was a good idea. So we did, as you can see. That's going to be nice, not having to trip over that stuff anymore. So let me show you what we did over here with the slider. Matter of fact, I'll probably walk in there. But on this side, on the post and pole fence, we just added another little stay right here. And it created some pockets, as you see. This is where the rails will be slid through. Let's go check out the jack fence side. Okay, well, when my battery was dying, I was fixing to put on this right here. Look out, guys. They're just going to rub this thing. When the new wears off, I guess they'll quit. So what I did is I matched this angle right here with the jack post. I cut that and then made it touch the rail there all the way to the ground for support. And then I screwed it in 2 places, and that leaves some nice little pockets for the rails to slide in and out of. I'm going to do 3 sliding rails. So anyways, we'll just take a rail from over here in these pockets. Outside the fence, I got 3 rails there. So when a cow goes into labor and we push her over in here, all we got to do is grab those rails right there, start sliding it through here, all the way across into there. And we got plenty of extra length on either side, so it overlaps quite a bit, so they can't mess around and knock it out. But you know, with our cows, guys, that's just fine. They're going to be fine. These little guys right here are not going to mess too much with it. And that's another thing with this jack fence. You know, I would have liked to put a post right here, but it's too froze. You can see I tried to dig, and it's rock solid, and it's not happening. But we might get away with it with these little cows. If we had some full size in here, they'd have this thing shoved clean across the corral and possibly tipped over. But we might get away with it, so we're going to go for it. And I think we're ready, guys. So all that being said and done, this should work out pretty good for the calves this year. I'm thinking that I'm actually going to like it a lot better than the thing I had last year. Gives a little bit more room for the cow to kind of settle in and go ahead and complete her labor. But it's going to be nice having that shed back there. It's got 3 directions of winded blocks, and it's all the ones that we have to worry about. And so that's going to be nice for it to get in there for a couple days and spend a couple days out of the wind, because we still have some cold temperatures. And so hopefully it'll work out good for them. A couple days in there, then back in with the herd, and it should be fine. So, you know, this is going to be a temporary deal, I think. I don't think this is my long-term solution. However, it feels right this year for what money I have as far as materials and stuff goes. Easier to use the shed I got than to build one. So anyways, that's what's going on there, guys. I'm getting pretty excited. Betsy's getting pretty close. Actually, I think she's right here. Let's flip it around and take a look at her real quick. So there's Betsy, and she's getting there. She's getting a little bit of mucus coming out. And I'm thinking, you know, when that starts happening, we start thinking about maybe 2 to 3 weeks or so. Based off of last year, she went a little bit longer than that. So I think we have a few weeks. However, I wanted to be sure that we weren't going to cut it short, and we had an area for her to have her calf, because, you know, when it happens pretty quick. But she is getting there, guys, and we're all getting excited. I know she's done kicked April off of her for good, so she's weaned off, which I was actually getting concerned about, but she did it on her own. I was going to actually pull her out of the corral, but she did it here a few weeks ago, and might have even been longer than that. But so she's ready to go, and she is just feeling that back scratch. My goodness, what is going on here? So looking forward to that. Stay tuned, guys. We're going to be in the calves here pretty soon before we know it, I think.